Hello everyone. Today I'm going to summarize a film titled Extra Credit. In this plot, a charming sociology teacher lures her student into a relationship, unaware that he's stepping into her trap. She begins to manipulate and take advantage of him as part of her sinister scheme. Before we dive in, remember to subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up. The movie kicks off at a rooftop hideout where Cole meets his criminal buddy TJ, who asks if he's prepared for their planned burglary tonight. Cole instructs TJ to keep an eye out. As Cole sneaks into the house, he informs TJ over the walkie-talkie that he's inside. He discovers a jewelry box and decides to leave the ring inside, only to see a photo of an older woman wearing it, prompting him to return it. Suddenly, TJ radios that a car is approaching the driveway, so Cole quickly hides the couple as the wife notices the door is open. The husband activates the alarm system and prepares his weapon as Cole tries to make his escape. The husband spots him and fires a shot, narrowly missing Cole, who hears the gunshot and police siren. TJ speeds away from the scene. Eventually, the police corner Cole and apprehend him. At the police station, Detective Deardra Clemens, who knows about Cole's past issues, is visibly upset to see him again. Cole, however, insists that he deserves another chance to improve his life. Clemens suggests a scholarship program for at-risk youth at Valley Spire College and offers to fund his education. She explains that he must attend school and complete community service hours at the beginning of the second semester. Cole arrives at his girlfriend Lindy's art exhibition at the gallery on his skateboard. His friend Sean, who is filming the event, asks women to model for his video. Upon Cole's arrival, Sean inquires about his whereabouts, and Cole reveals he was working at the zoo. Lindsay, who is at the event, joins them. She warns Sean to leave her friends alone. The group notices the school dean, Dr. Jan, and his wife, Professor K, who they had spoken to earlier. Kay introduces herself to Sean, who flirts with her and mentions taking her sociology class that evening. After Cole and Lindsay have a romantic moment, Lindsay brings up her interactions with Kay, suggesting Cole might take her class as an elective. This idea worries Lindsay, but Cole assures her it won't affect their relationship. However, Sean makes a lighthearted comment that the other students find funny, but doesn't impress Kay. Kay accuses Sean of trying to gain attention with his humor, which leads Sean to drop the class. However, Sean is taken aback when Cole opts to remain in their shared dorm room, leaving Sean feeling let down that Cole didn't stand up for him earlier. Cole, feeling annoyed, decides to study in a different location and exits the room on his skateboard. A few days later, Cole spots Kay getting into her SUV. Kay returns with Cole's essay that he failed and invites him to her office at 5 p.m. During their meeting, Kay confronts Cole about the plagiarism in his essay. Cole admits to it, but Kay insists on bringing the matter to the dean's board and suggests he be expelled. Cole tries to convince her to reconsider, explaining that he's on a scholarship and losing it would be devastating. However, Kay remains firm in her decision. Cole follows Kay out of the building, but she brushes him off abruptly. Suddenly, a masked individual attacks Kay, and Cole hears her cries for help. He intervenes, but ends up getting punched in the process. After the masked individual escapes, Cole checks on Kay's condition and suggests they return to the office instead of going home. Inside the office, Kay is visibly shaken by the attack. Cole comforts her, assuring her that she's safe. As they stand close to each other, she notices a cut on his forehead. She leans in for a kiss, and he reciprocates, their passion growing stronger as they lock lips. Their embrace deepens into a passionate make-out session, their bodies moving in sync, expressing their intense desire and longing. Their bodies intertwine, their hips moving in a sensual rhythm that reflects the intensity of their kiss. While they're talking, Kay's phone rings, and it's her husband checking in to make sure the SYPH tickets are going well. Kay tells Cole she needs to leave, and as he goes down the stairs, he accidentally collides with her husband. Later, as Lindsay is painting in her room, Cole walks in and asks about his face, which he denies having hurt. He admits he was feeling a bit frisky, which led to a kiss. This moment quickly turned into something more intense, eventually leading to them having sex. Lindsay later tells Cole about a costume party at her dorm on Saturday and invites him to come the next day. Kay asks Cole if he can talk to her after their class, where she confesses to the police that she didn't tell her husband about what happened. Kay admits that what they did was inappropriate and suggests they keep it a secret. Kay then tells him she hasn't reported his plagiarism to the dean's board, but is willing to consider giving him extra credit for his essay on human behavior under her guidance. She gives him a 20-page essay to finish by the end of the semester on Saturday. Meanwhile, Cole and Sean go to a costume party at Lindsay's dorm. Lindsay catches Sean taking pictures with a camera and takes it away, telling him she's upset he didn't wear a costume. Irritated Cole reveals that he spent the entire night working on an assignment, leaving him without time to get ready, which led Lynn L. to decide to leave Sean. Cole is called out by Sean for not grasping Lindsay's disappointment. Feeling cornered, Cole decides to exit the party. On his way out, Cole accidentally collides with Jill, who is offended and retaliates by throwing a punch. Cole manages to evade the attack and lands Jill on the ground. Cole later gets a text from Kay, urging him to visit her office right away. Curious about how she obtained his number, Kay confesses that she got it from the school's administration, despite being aware of their unethical practices. As they share a kiss, their connection deepens into a passionate make-out session filled with intense desire and longing. Suddenly, they hear the sound of a security guard coming towards the door, leading Kay to suggest Cole hide under a desk the following day. The next morning, Cole visits the police station for his scheduled appointment with Detective Deardra. He opens up about his struggles to catch up with his peers, and Detective Deardra reassures him, encouraging him to persist. She promises to support him. Later that day, Cole sends Lindsay a text apologizing for the night before and expressing his anticipation for her art exhibition over the weekend. Shortly after, he receives a call from Lexi, giving him specific instructions to meet her at a certain location. That evening, Cole discovers the location is a gentleman's club and is taken aback to find Kay there. She reveals that he's there to observe human behavior in real life, highlighting the dynamics between men and women. Kay guides him to the VIP area for an activity. She's about to introduce him to Lexi, who will teach him about control through Dan. Lexi tells him to refrain from touching her during the session. Suddenly, Lindsay interrupts, but Lexi playfully takes Cole's phone and ends the call, leaving Cole annoyed. Cole decides to leave the bar and return to the dorm room. Sean, another student, suggests he take a shower because he smells like the gentleman's club from class. Later, when the professor returns the student's homework, Cole notices a note in his folder about an incident that occurred that afternoon. He decides to visit the teacher's office to inquire about it and learns that it was a midterm exam he aced that evening. At Lindsay's art show, Cole receives a text from Kay inviting him to room 106. Upon entering, the professor, who is also a dancer, reveals that the session is about to become more intimate. Their bodies become entangled in a passionate dance, filled with desire and longing. Afterward, Cole returns to the art show, where Lindsay mentions that she barely noticed him all night, expressing her disappointment. She realized their bond wasn't as real as she believed, as he seemed to agree but also hinted at wanting her freedom from the college bubble. Feeling she was just another conquest for Lindsay, who slapped him in their shared dorm room. Sean told Cole that Lindsay was seeing an older woman secretly, and Cole was torn between his love for his girlfriend and his feelings for Lindsay. Cole went to Kay's office and saw a bruise on her face. Kay told him she came home late and was physically attacked by her husband, John, who was furious. Cole wanted to get back at him, but was eventually calmed down by Kay, who thought her husband might suspect her of cheating and suggested they end their affair. Cole, however, couldn't let go of his love for her and was curious about what John had said about the bruise. Kay told him that she had told others she got it during a tennis lesson. Cole begged Kay to leave John if he continued to hurt her, but Kay pointed out the difficulties, especially since John was the dean of the school. Kay also mentioned that John had hidden money in a safe behind a picture in his study, which was part of a larger scheme involving bribes from parents wanting their children to be admitted to the school. Cole attended a dinner party at the Weller's house, where he met Chief Udall, the head of campus security and a former cop, who noticed him and followed him into John's study, where Cole was looking for the safe behind a picture. However, just as he's about to inspect Udall, he's interrupted by him, questioning his motives. In response, Cole concocts a story about searching for a restroom. Kay steps in, offering to guide him to a hotel room the next day. Cole then inquires about the safe, which Kay confirms is indeed there, though though she harbors doubts about the burglary scheme. Cole reassures her, citing his previous experience in home burglaries as a reason for his confidence in his ability to retrieve the money, provided she shares the necessary security information. Kay explains the alarm system's vulnerability to being deactivated within 30 seconds to avoid detection by campus security. She also mentions the absence of any security cameras. Cole suggests carrying out the burglary on Saturday, coinciding with Kay's business trip to Santa Rosa to secure an alibi. He proposes their rendezvous at the hotel on Sunday, with their bags packed and ready to go. Kay, despite her reservations, agrees. Cole, in a moment of passion, kisses her on Saturday night. He successfully infiltrates the house, disarms the alarm, and discovers John asleep in the bedroom, realizing the safe isn't behind the picture in the study. This revelation leaves him startled and alarmed. Suddenly, the alarm goes off, prompting Cole to flee. Udall and campus security eventually arrive at the house. Cole manages to fend off Jill and his accomplice, who are seeking revenge for an incident at a costume party. He escapes just as the security guards return to the hotel. Cole leaves Kay a note, letting her know there's no safe behind the picture, placing his phone on the sink and splashing water on his face to reflect in the mirror. He wonders why Kay fabricated the truth about the safe's position, which was supposedly on the bed, and switches on the television. To his astonishment, he witnesses a news bulletin announcing John Weller's demise, caused by suffocation, with Cole identified as the primary suspect, thanks to the surveillance footage showing him escaping shortly after the crime. The hotel manager is compelled to open the room under the detective's directive, but Cole escapes through the window and down the fire escape the next day. The student seeks shelter in a rooftop hideout, recalling Kay's assurance that her house lacked surveillance cameras. He then realizes that John Weller might have been deceased by the time he saw him in bed. He contacts Deirdre on a public phone to clarify his situation, but the detective believes Kay made the call after recognizing him on the news, accusing him of harassing her for weeks. Kay also revealed to the police that she had given them her blouse, stained with Cole's blood, as evidence of an assault. Cole attempts to justify their action, stating that they conspired on the robbery and his blood was on the blouse because he intervened in an attack on her. However, the detective finds it difficult to accept Cole's version of events and urges the student to surrender. The man returns to the rooftop, where TJ confronts him to retrieve the reward money for his capture. Cole manages to fend off TJ and takes his jacket and car key. Just a few minutes later, he takes TJ's car to the gentleman's club to ask Lexi to help him prove that he and Kay are acquainted. However, the dancer feigns ignorance when Cole keeps bothering the woman, and a bouncer steps in and drives him away. The student is left wondering how fast the campus security team responded to the noise from the library. Cole talks to Sean and claims he didn't murder the dean, and Sean believes him, stating that no one knows Kay's whereabouts. The friend hands him some cash and sunglasses in the parking lot. Cole spots Udall getting into Kay's SUV and decides to follow him. The campus security chief parks near the house, allowing the student to quietly enter the backyard where he witnesses Kay and Udall sharing a kiss, uncovering their affair. He records their conversation using Sean's camera. Cole discovers that Udall killed John just before the burglary to make it look like the student was responsible for his death, and that Kay intends to claim the insurance and trust funds from her husband's death. They also plan to flee with John's plane to Mexico. Cole manages to sneak into the professor's SUV. Udall apologizes for the bruise on the woman's face, claiming it was part of their plan. Unbeknownst to them, the woman is actually a stowaway who continues to record their conversation from the back seat at the airport. Kay notices Cole approaching them. Udall aims his weapon at him. Cole ducks behind the barrels, attempting to make the intruder understand that the professor employed them for nefarious purposes. Suddenly, Kay strikes the armed individual with a wrench, giving the student the opportunity to seize the gun moments later. De'Ara then appears, pointing her gun at Cole, confessing that she and Kay have orchestrated everything from the start. The cop mentions that she instructed Lexi to remain silent unless Lexi wished to face legal consequences for possessing illegal substances. De'Ara explains that the assailant on campus was actually the club's bouncer. She reveals that they had preserved the shirt stained with the assailant's blood as a form of insurance, intending for the student to be convicted. However, Upon discovering the truth, the student will also meet his demise with Udall. As the cop prepares to fire at the head of the campus security, she's oblivious to the fact that the assailant has another concealed weapon. Cole takes the gun from her and handcuffs her. Kay threatens to shoot him, but she's unaware that he had switched the safety on the gun when he surrendered it to the cop earlier. The student retrieves the gun and points it at the professor, offering her $4 million and the opportunity to escape together. Cole passionately kisses the woman, secretly attaching the handcuffs to her wrists. The professor tells him that no one will believe his account, so he reveals the hidden camera and shows the footage of the professor's admissions days later. The newspaper headlines later exonerate the student of the crimes committed in the dorm room. Cole completes the essay he had promised the professor at the beginning of the semester. Sean suggests they exploit the student's story for financial gain and fame, entertaining his friend with the idea. Later, he leaves the essay in a mailbox, and he and Lindsay proceed to their class. Eventually, Kay receives the student's extra credit essay while serving time in prison.